What's going on, everyone? My name is Mike and welcome to my new YouTube channel, Seeking Sushi. So the purpose of this channel is simple: to inspire you, the viewer, through food, something that I'm personally passionate about and something that I've been exposed to for 25 years of my life. So I decided to call this channel Seeking Sushi because my personal favorite dish in the whole wide world is sushi, and I'm on the hunt to look for good food overall. So for me, sushi is kind of the epitome of great food. So this is what this channel is all about. If you have any comments, suggestions, feedback in this video or in upcoming videos, feel free to DM me directly or leave a comment down below. So in the past few years, I've watched seemingly endless hours of food vlogs.
Oh wow.
Oh wow.
Food reviews.
When you eat foie gras, you're like, that's why they force feed those ducks.
I'm still wondering why they white.
Me or the crab?
Food challenges.
All this McDonald's in under 90 minutes for $3,500. I think I'm gonna take that bet.
And I've personally been inspired by so many of these food vloggers out there that I thought to myself, hey, why not do the same? Especially during these corona times, I kind of want to occupy myself by sharing what I've experienced and what I've learned. I am by no means an expert at all. I simply just want to share what I've learned in the past and kind of convey some inspiration to you, the viewer. So for this first video, I thought it'd be fitting to start with a typical what I eat in the day video, just to give you a brief idea of what I'm like as a person and to show you what I'm currently eating at my current state. At the date of this recording, I weigh about 67 kilograms and stand at a whopping 165 centimeters. With my current goal of bulking, my active lifestyle, and a fast metabolism, I need to consume about 3,000 calories a day in order to be in a calorie surplus. I would consider my diet a pescatarian diet, as I am mostly vegetarian, but I do eat fish once in a while. But I won't say no to a nice juicy burger if it was served to me at someone's place. But when I travel, I'm not as strict on my diet. I am flexible and I do like to explore kind of the local cuisine, and I don't want to restrict myself to what a specific country or destination is known for. And yeah, with that, let's get this video started. So I personally like to start the day off with a nice breakfast. Contrary to popular opinion, I believe breakfast is still the most important meal of the day. I personally like to start the day with a heavy carb and protein loaded meal, and in my opinion, the most cost effective, simple, and calorie dense meal is oatmeal. So my standard base is about 100 grams of oats, 350 grams of oat milk to get my preferred texture, 1 scoop of whey protein powder, and 10 grams of chia seeds for added texture and improved digestion. So as the oats are warming up, I typically like to prepare a couple cups of coffee for myself and my girlfriend, using an assortment of coffee beans that we've collected in the past months. Behind the coffee mug, you can see some varieties from 19 grams, which is a coffee place in Berlin. I grind up about 2 scoops of beans in a grinder. Once it's finished grinding, I toss them in the French press with 2 cups of boiling water, let it cook for about 48 minutes, and pour. I typically like to drink coffee with a bit of milk, so I top it off with some oat milk just to cool it down a little bit and add some taste. From there, I switch it up depending on the fruits I have available. I either warm up frozen fruits, which are usually going to be more cost effective all year round. Otherwise, I prefer to add blueberries for the antioxidants or a banana for added calories and magnesium for muscle recovery. For healthy fats and protein, I like to load it up with all natural peanut butter, and to balance out the dryness of the peanut butter, I also like to add jam if I have it available. And finally, for added protein and crunch, I sprinkle on about a tablespoon of linseeds, which are really high in protein. The total calories for this meal is about 1,000 calories, and the macros are 100 grams of carbs, 48 grams of fat, and 58 grams of protein. So as you can see, this is enough to give me a lot of energy to really crank out a good morning at work. Depending on how full I am from breakfast, I like to keep my lunches relatively light in comparison to my other meals I have throughout the day. My go-to is an omelet with a variety of vegetables. My typical base is about 3 to 4 eggs, followed by some spinach, tomatoes, onions, and maybe some avocado if I have it available. In my opinion, eggs are one of the most versatile foods out there, not to mention it's loaded with protein and low in carbs. On top of that, it's very affordable. I personally prefer omelets just because I'm not a pro chef and I can just add whatever I have available to my eggs to combine the flavors and end up with a pretty solid meal. Typically, I like to add red onions for flavor, spinach for iron, which helps the body use energy effectively, and tons of cheese, pretty much just for the cheesy bites, but it's also a good source of calcium, protein, and fats. Now, altogether, this meal is about 450 calories, only 3 grams of carbs, 33 grams of fat, and 36 grams of protein, which will give me enough energy to pump out another productive afternoon of work without leading to a food coma, which typically happens if I eat too much during lunch. For those that know me pretty well, you know how much I love a good cup of joe, or any cup of joe for that matter. However, in the past year or so, I tried to reduce my coffee consumption to a maximum of 2 cups per day. And if you think that's nothing, then just wait for my soon-to-be not-so-secret key to curb your addiction, lupin coffee. Lupin coffee is an amazing caffeine-free alternative. It's essentially a seed that's grounded up that kind of mimics the ground coffee texture. The brand that I prefer is Naturata, hopefully I pronounced that correctly. As it's farmed organically, it's packed with protein, and it only costs €5 a bag, which is about 20 cents a cup, or 25 cups in the whole bag. So if you're considering a caffeine-free alternative without breaking the bank, I suggest trying Lupin coffee. Recently, I've been working out right after work. So after a solid home workout, I refuel myself with a protein shake, which typically includes 1 banana, 100 grams of quark, which is essentially Germany's competitor to Greek yogurt. Quark has more protein and less fat, depending on the brand, and it's only 80 cents for half a kilo. So not only is it more gains, it's also more savings. Then I add a scoop of vanilla flavored protein powder, about 50 grams of frozen fruits, 200 milliliters of oat milk, and voila, an easily consumable source of deliciousness, perfect for any time of the day. In this shake, there are about 400 calories. The macros include 52 grams of carbs, 5 grams of fat, and 35 grams of protein. So during this time, it's around dinner time for me, so I also like to drink this shake while I'm eating dinner. To wrap it all up, I like to end the day with another calorie-dense meal. My most simple and cost-effective go-to by far is pasta. As long as I have a good source of carbs, protein, and a decent source of veggies, I'm happy. I like to prepare at least 2 portions during dinner so I can munch on something the next day without spending time cooking. So to start, I like to boil about 300 grams of pasta. As I wait for the pasta to reach its al dente texture, I chop up some onions and garlic and heat them up in a pan with some spices. Instead of buying pre-made sauce, I like to add my own creativity and save about half the price by using crushed tomatoes and my own choice of spices. Quick pro tip, I add some water to the can to ensure I'm getting as much tomatoes as I can while liquefying the sauce a bit more. Another pro tip, I add a little bit of sweetener of choice to bring out the sour and salty flavors even more. And finally, my protein source of choice this time around wasn't normal for me, but it was convenient. So I used a can of tuna, which is a lean source of protein that doesn't need to be cooked, which saves me even more time. Altogether, this meal measures out to about 867 calories, 108 grams of carbs, 26 grams of fat, and 46 grams of protein. Although I failed many times, I try to eat no later than 9 p.m. just to give my body enough time to digest all the meals I had eaten that day and to ensure that I have enough room for next day's breakfast. So that about wraps up an average day in the life of me, Mike. So with these meals, I didn't quite reach my goal of 3,000 calories, but I typically go over the 3,000 just to balance it out. I don't want to overeat every single day. And if you're wondering how I track my calories, I use this app by Under Armour called MyFitnessPal. What's great about it is you can also scan the barcodes of foods, given that they're also well known or well distributed, and it recognizes most popular items. Otherwise, you can just input the numbers yourself, and it over time tracks what meals you've created, and if this app sees patterns, it will automatically suggest for you to add certain ingredients if you've used them together with another ingredient. Over time, the app learns what your meals are like and which ingredients to recommend. And finally, I am by no means sponsored by MyProtein, but that's where I get my protein powder from, and I also get peanut butter and other items once in a while. So I will link my referral code down in the comments or down in the video somewhere, and if you use it and it's your first time ordering from the site, you will save money. I will also save money, so feel free to use the code at your discretion. I lose nothing, you lose nothing. So my aim is for this not to be one way, but more so of a two-way conversation, and I would love to hear some feedback so I can kind of get more inspiration for future videos. I do have some ideas in the pipeline, but it'd be great to hear from you. So with that, I'm gonna end this video. See you next time. Peace.